this is our first meeting of cartoons that traumatized us. I would like to begin by everyone introducing themselves.
Amy.
Phil.
Charles.
Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic. I remember it so you don't have to.
That's an incredibly strange way to introduce yourself.
I've been doing it for years. I'm kind of stuck.
And I'm a doctor. You can tell because I'm wearing a white coat that says doctor.
That's true.
It does say doctor.
All of us have been scared in one way or another by animated children's programming.
Double puh.
We're all here to show that we're not alone. Phil, why don't we start with you?
Well, I'm a big lover of cats.
That was brave of you to say, thank you.
That's not my confession.
Oh.
On a so-called kids show called Flapjack, they have the most terrifying feline I've ever seen in my life.
Oh dear.
It scared me so much that I threw any cat I came across into my closet, and I still haven't opened it up.
I'm dying.
Thank you, Phil, for your honesty. Amy, would you like to go next?
Oh, well, I guess mine is that one Powerpuff Girls where they raced each other.
Well, that sounds nice.
It resulted in the apocalypse.
Less nice.
For years, I was terrified to race because I thought it would lead to zombie people.
It's all right, Amy. That's what we're here for.
I'm sorry, is he starving my cat?
Charles, why don't you go next?
I'm not sure if mine scarred me or not. It's hard to explain. I grew up watching a show called Totally Spies.
Oh yeah, okay.
Suddenly I really want to be a cat girl.
You know, we hear you, Charles.
While being inflated and drowned in quicksand.
We get the idea.
Until vines wrap around me, tickle my feet, and something about being a giant covered in custard.
Charles!
Sorry, it did things to me.
There's actually a whole other group meeting coping with that show.
Oh, really?
Yes, until then you should probably read some more wholesome material. Try some Golden Age Wonder Woman comics.
That's a great idea. Nothing sexual there.
Very good. Critic, how about you?
Mine's kind of silly.
Please, Critic, nothing is silly here.
Well, that's...
Literally everything is silly here.
You're in a good place, though.
I've always kind of been terrified of the Will Smith fish from Shark Tale.
Seriously?
Ow!
My God, I forgot!
I repressed it all these years.
Is there a version of that with boobs?
Let's revisit this terror, shall we? Released in 2004, this was during that awkward time when Disney and DreamWorks were kinda ripping each other off. One has a bug movie, so does the other. There's a flick about zoo animals entering the jungle, now there's two. You got Finding Nemo, we have regrets. Thankfully, over the years, both became more comfortable in their styles and eventually learned how to rip themselves off. Shark Tale was arguably the most awkward of those transitional films. It has likable people, a lot of directors that worked on decent material, but this was just a melting pot of mistakes looking for an identity. With both critics and audiences panning it pretty hard, it only makes sense to analyze what drowned this bizarre creation. So if everybody is ready to relive old memories...
No more Will Smith as a fish?
Let's take a look at Shark Tale. A worm is thrusted, much like the audience, into a world of misery, screaming in terror. He's approached by a shark named Lenny, voiced by Jack Black's puppet version of himself.
Hey, Mom said it's not okay to hit.
1/3 of the movie is that voice. Yes, you are blessed. He, tell me if you've heard this, doesn't like being a shark eating creatures, but doesn't want to tell the other sharks that. Maybe you could tell him to stop the Jaws music after the punchlines reveal. Look, they're building up like you're gonna see something scary. Instead, it's a colorful city, but the music keeps going. We got it, the bid is over. Don't make me bring this little shit out.
The sharks are gone.
Don't worry.
Bet you can't guess what kind of puns they focus on in this.
I'm Katie Current.
Muscle grow.
There's an overturned macro to the latest scallop poll. Get out those shell phones.
Remember all your dad's jokes he made you laugh at when you went scuba diving? They wrote a screenplay around that.
Mother of 800 tells us how she does it all.
I just want to see a scientist who's been analyzing jokes from Pixar for years saying, you don't know how this works, you don't know how any of this works! Even Pixar half the time doesn't know how it works! But okay, give credit, this one's pretty good. Oh!
Hi, I'm Oscar.
And there he is, the goddamn Will Smith fish. I know that's not what he's called, but every time I mention this movie, people say, oh, the goddamn Will Smith fish, so that's what I'm calling him, the goddamn Will Smith fish. It's not like he has a unique personality or anything warranting a different name. It's just Will Smith if he accidentally agreed to an animated Asylum knockoff.
For those days when you're feeling just a little old school.
You remember that Dreamcast game Seaman, where you raise a new kind of life form? This is its game over screen. This is if you did everything wrong.
Don't worry about it.
I can't.
Goddamn Will Smith fish works at a whale wash. One of the few clever ideas that almost makes it feel like a functioning world. But he's of course surrounded by cliched supporting characters, like his friend Angie who has a crush on him, played by Renee Zellweger.
Good morning. Can I help you?
Strangely, where Will Smith disturbingly doesn't work as a fish, Renee Zellweger disturbingly works too well as a fish. He's got a rough and gruff angry boss named Mr. Sykes, played by Martin Scorsese?
Look, I have to start paying Don Lito protection. So everything you owe me, you owe him.
Scorsese's not a big threatening boss. He's Luigi in an old folks' home saying how Sonic the Hedgehog isn't cinema.
You and me, we worked together a long time.
He has connections to a mob boss, a shark named Don Lino, played by Robert De Niro. I think he took this role just so Scorsese would have to take orders from him for once.
Luca.
I like big butts and I cannot lie.
Hey, boss, big butts.
Does Sir Mix-a-Lot get royalties for every Desperate Kids film he's in? He might have worked his way up to actual Night Now.
It takes more than muscle to run things. Now, Lenny, he's got the brains. That's something special.
Did I mention, by the way, there's a lot of talking in this movie? Like, for a film that takes place underwater and plays big butts in the first 10 minutes, there's surprisingly a lot of sitting around and doing nothing.
It was nothing, really, you know.
You're really giving me agita. You know that? I don't know how else to say this to you, Lenny. You see something,
But it
you
was a
kill it,
little
you eat,
ride.
period.
Come on, who's it gonna hurt anyway? I mean, go ahead, I'm not explaining myself to you.
In fact, every Blu-ray comes complete with sugar-high kids running up and down the aisles due to boredom.
Look, I'm gonna get you some coupons, we're gonna get you a free hot wax and all that. You like that?
My God, it's disgusting.
What? It's from the same animators who did those Lamaso commercials.
Oh, God!
That is something that scarred me for life.
Sykes! My brother from another mother. What the daisy, baby? Show me that. So, what's going down? Hey, baby.
It's like Will Smith is playing racquetball with his charm and the movie has given him no wall to bounce off of. At some point he's gonna be like, hey, you gotta give me something to work with!
Okay, please, just give me some time. That's all I'm asking. I'm begging you, Sykes.
What they do give him to work with is a huge amount of debt he owes his boss, which he says he wants at the racetrack tomorrow.
I want some of that. The top of the reef, where the somebodies live. I want to be rich and famous like them, but stuck down here.
You know it's hard to feel bad for goddamn Will Smith fish because it is goddamn Will Smith fish. It's not like a character he's playing like in Pursuit of Happiness, it's the personality of wild, rich, and famous Will Smith. So when he talks about wanting to be wild, rich, and famous, I don't feel that bad for him. The only difference is he's bad with money, which, why did he do Suicide Squad?
What's this?
To help him pay off his debts, Angie gives him an expensive pearl that her grandma passed down to her. We cut to Lenny letting a shrimp go that literally exists just for a comeback joke, which is a weak payoff that you can cut and miss nothing, so let's go back to goddamn Will Smith fish. He gets money from the pearl, which he's about to give to Mr. Sykes when...
Well, what's the horse's name? Lucky Day.
5,000 on Lucky Day to win!
Dumb, hideous, and a dick waffle. Brave riding a lead with no redeemable features, guys! Angelina Jolie plays a Bratz doll named Lola. Because if you're a cartoon and you have that name, you're just destined to look like this. And she tries winning him over.
Am I into fish now?
No, you're not. Go back to reading your Wonder Woman comics.
Oh, sorry. Did she always get spanked this much?
Only when she deserves it.
Mr. Sykes interrupts her handful of appearances and discovers he bet all his money on a horse. A seahorse, get it? It's funnier than Katie Current.
Lucky Day go!
The horse actually starts to win, but slips up at the end, pissing off Sykes even more.
It's just business.
He's already in a fish's mouth. Why are you taking him anywhere? I guess they decide to just shock him. Best show him the Rotten Tomato score for that. But Lenny's brother takes this opportunity to show him how to attack prey.
I'm just pretending so you can get away. Now, when I turn around, you take off.
I got Kung Fu Panda coming up. I still have a career here.
I've had it up to here.
An anchor drops on Lenny's brother, though, killing him off.
Freaky!
Jesus, I don't think a Sharknado could do that. The jellyfish think goddamn Will Smith fish killed him, and he accepts all the credit.
What happened?
Well, I'll tell you what happened.
Big old shark about 7,500 feet long.
Okay, you thought he was gonna rap there too, right? He becomes an instant celebrity known as the Shark Slayer, and Sykes takes over as his manager.
You are? I'm his manager. Sykes.
And I'm his financial advisor. You want to see my puppets?
There's like 5 more of those. He's gonna be the new Minions. The sharks bury Lenny's brother. Yeah, okay, this really did make me laugh. And Don Lino is concerned that Lenny has not returned home yet.
He'll turn up. What's wrong with that kid? Why's he gotta be so different? Frankie, he was perfect.
I gotta say, I thought Jabberjaw's origin story would be exactly like this. What am I talking about? Money was used to animate that. Folks who made Prince of Egypt, guys! Don Lino is told about the Shark Slayer, and he puts out all his men to find it. Goddamn Will Smith Fish graces the cover of every pun magazine, and again, this did make me giggle a bit. But he goes from a selfish, egotistical ass biscuit to the exact same thing, but with money.
I don't forget anything, and I never forget who my friends are.
I'm not interrupting something, am I?
No!
Yes, we're talking.
Hey, Lola!
Just when you think he hits peak douche, he keeps climbing that mountain. Another shark is spotted, and goddamn Will Smith Fish is sent out to slay him, but it turns out to only be Lenny.
In case you haven't noticed, I'm different from the other sharks.
I'm so tired of keeping it all a secret. And my dad never accept me for who I am. What's wrong with me?
As you probably picked up, this has a hint of a coming out story, which is all the more insulting. Lenny should clearly be played by a real gay shark.
Gee, if Pop knew that, he'd ice you for sure.
Was he the Godfather or something?
Yeah, he is.
Goddamn Will Smith Fish finds out Lenny is related to Don Lino and tries to stop Sykes from telling him off.
They're gonna tear you fin from fin.
Come on, now who's your puff daddy, huh? Who takes care of you, huh?
You know 10 people wrote this.
What they don't tell you is they were all the writing staff for Cavemen.
You got it all wrong.
They're gonna write songs about you, kid.
Better figure out a plan to stop these sharks from finding him and destroying all his friends and family.
Oh, baby, you are so tense.
Yeah, you know, I've really been stressed lately, you know, just protecting the reef, you know, 'cause I do that by myself.
Don't you love films where the one lesson learned at the end completely excuses all the other ones not learned?
You just show them who's boss, and those sharks will leave you alone.
Is it wrong to say that that fish scares me too?
Well, this is the reverse of a horror film. It's mostly terrifying but has jump normals.
Jump normals?
Moments of complacency before you go back to screaming.
You have worked your way to the top. You don't want to go back.
Oh.
Just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water. Finds out about goddamn Will Smith Fish's secret and tries to figure out what to do.
And you gonna say, stop! That Shark Slayer's crazy, man. He beat me senseless. He's a stone cold killer, man.
You think this whole film idea came from a producer's kid watching Mulan saying, "Is Mushu a fish?" No. They hatch up a plan to make it look like Lenny is defeated by goddamn Will Smith Fish, and hopefully the other sharks see it and run away.
Don't swallow.
Oscar?
No, it's Pinocchio.
Surprised they didn't go for a Fisher King joke on that one. It would give Robin Williams something more terrifying to react off of.
Are you not entertained? You can't handle the truth. You had me at hello.
Even she had a look like, "I'm smiling because the camera's on me and I was in that, but I'm mentally stabbing myself."
Remember this name!
Hey, if they're underwater, how can there be electricity? The hoax works as the sharks are scared away, Lenny disguises himself as a dolphin, and goddamn Will Smith Fish is as big a star as ever.
Hey, Lola!
Has the reef's most eligible bachelor been snapped up?
Well, I for one am shocked Angelina Jolie is not known for stealing men away.
I was like, wakage, wakage, wabayaki. I was crazy.
When you punched me, and the crowd was, ah!
Anyone else wish they were watching the recording session rather than the actual movie they're recording for?
and you swim out and meet the sharks. And you be like, oh, the sharks like crazy, man. That's perfect. That's perfect, right? That's a brilliant idea.
There was more chemistry of them and their t-shirts than in a $75 million budget. Them waiting in line at Starbucks would have been 10 times more gripping than this.
Would she love you if you were nobody?
Nobody loved me when I was nobody.
I did.
I loved you for the asshole you were, not the asshole you've become. Goddamn Will Smith Fish realizes he has feelings for her too and decides to dump Lola.
Ha! Young love.
In a Scorsese film that probably is Young Love.
That's right, tough guy. We got your girl.
Just as he's about to confess his love to Angie, the sharks call and say they kidnapped her. They arrange a sit-down with the shark, still under the impression that he's really a shark slayer.
I barely even know that girl.
Well, I say he's bluffing.
But if I wasn't married...
How you doing, pretty lady?
Jesus, guys, you're not even the same species. It'd be like... No, there's no combo that somebody on the internet wouldn't find hot.
Take her out.
He has Lenny pretend to eat her, he mugs some more.
Dun, 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 dun.
Can you not be used car Fresh Prince for a minute? But Lenny can't hold it in and pukes her up, revealing himself.
You're alive?
Oh. Hey, boss, it's Lenny. He was wearing a disguise so we wouldn't recognize him, but now he's not wearing a disguise, so we do recognize him.
I pretend to laugh, will you shut up? Don Lino tries to kill goddamn Will Smith Fish. The shrimp get their revenge for almost being eaten by him. Told you it was a bad payoff. And they get stuck at the whale wash. He reveals he's not a real shark slayer, and I will give the film credit, there's not a whole act of the characters moping and doping like most liar reveal stories have. Though maybe it just wants to get this film over with as fast as we do.
I lied.
And I'm not a real financial advisor.
Stop trying to be a character! Even the actual characters suck at it!
So your son likes kelp. So his best friend's a fish. So he likes to dress like a dolphin. So what?
The most important movies about coming out moonlight in this. Except this one was successfully snubbed by the Academy Awards. Oscar to Mammal!
Get me out of this so I can hug my kid.
And just like all prejudiced parents, he comprehends and completely accepts him immediately.
I love you, son, no matter what you eat or how you dress.
I'm also gay. You're out of the family! So everything wraps up nicely. They even get a performance from Fish Christina Aguilera and Fish Missy Elliott. I too cannot believe they did not go for Christina Aguilera and Fishy Elliott. You are not B. Larry King, guys. You're just not there. And that was Shark Tale, or as DreamWorks likes to call it, Illumination made that. This whole film felt like it was on autopilot. You know those desk toys where the marbles knock back and forth and you watch it blankly for an undetermined amount of time? This is the less fun version of that. Everything is stock, recycled, or not very imaginative. And on top of that, the fish are scary looking. It's honestly hard for me to look at them, they're that unappealing to the eyes. I get it if people grew up with this and therefore have a soft spot for it, but when you compare it to other animated films, especially DreamWorks animated films, this is a dump boat that sinks straight to the bottom.
So, you feel better?
You know I do. Thanks for letting me talk about this, man. It helped a great deal.
Yeah, you know, it felt good confronting repressed marine life.
I might not actually purchase a fish just so I can kill it now.
Wonderful. Charles, how are you doing with those Wonder Woman comics?
I think I'm into everything now.
Well, 3 out of 4 ain't bad.
Yeah, I think our time is up anyway. I'm curious, what's your next group meeting on?
Oh, it's people traumatized by Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Oh, come on, there's nothing traumatizing about... except...
And...
as well as...
I'll just pencil you in then, shall I?
Yeah, that'd be good.
What if Freaky Fred had boobs?
Hey, boss, big butts.